So yesterday, we're hanging out, and I hit on X, the main thing that pops up. And James Comey posts on his Instagram, which, mind you, he has all comments disabled. You can't make any comments, which I think is a soft P-U-S-S-Y. I'm going to spell it out. He posts this, 8647, and he writes, what does he write in the bottom, Chris?
Right. Cool shell formation on my beach walk.
Yeah, he found, acting like he found this. So 8647, guys. And as some of you guys know, 86, when you've been 86, it means get them out, terminate, kill.
May I ask you a question? What's your previous work in intelligence? Were you ever like the head of the FBI or the CIA?
No, Rob,
No,
I had.
But
I had
yet you know
secret
those. You know exactly what those codes mean, yet you have no formal intelligence training whatsoever.
Zero. I mean, I held a secret clearance, but at the same token, Rob, you act like you stumbled upon this. Like I just walked up and the number's 46, 47. And what, Rob, you want to trip out? You want a weird fact? From September, Google this. How many days apart was September 11th, 2001 till yesterday, May 15th, 2025? How many days?
1,000?
No.
May 15th,
May 15th,
2025.
2025.
3 years is 1,000.
Yeah, right.
No, how many days? Rob's going to tell you right now.
I'm trying to. Wow, even the internet's not
10,000?
figuring that out. Hold on.
Go to
ChatGPT. We're going to talk about how bad AI is, but then we literally just go right to AI. 8,650 days from September 11th
Get
until
outta
No,
here.
well, not
Yesterday.
because it was yesterday.
Yes.
So 47. So, well, no, it's from yesterday. It's 8,647 days from yesterday that he did this, Rob. How weird is that? And James Comey was involved with 9/11, meaning, he was the FBI director. Wasn't he the FBI director? Who was he? What was James Comey's relation, Rob, to 9/11? What was he doing? Was he on commissions or what the hell
Let me
was
find out. I'm looking right back to ChatGPT.
He wasn't the director at that point.
No, he wasn't the director.
He's always been a swamp creature, though.
What is going on?
Is that weird?
Oh, he was. Wow.
What, Rob?
He was elected, but not appointed yet. He had not taken over the role, but he was elected as a U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York.
Weird.
On 9/11.
Wow.
Hey, isn't that weird? And Rob,
What a happy day.
who's his daughter? His daughter's what?
He's prosecuting Diddy right now after prosecuting Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein.
Wait a minute.
that
Look at
true?
all these
No.
weird coincidences.
Yeah.
Is that true, Rob?
Yes.
Which part?
No, his daughter. James Comey's
Yes.
daughter.
Maureen Comey is an assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. She served as the lead prosecutor in the criminal case against Ghislaine Maxwell in 2022. She is also part of the prosecution team in the sex trafficking trial of Sean, and I quote, Diddy, end of quote, Combs.
And she literally looks like James Comey with a wig on.
She's,
no.
But,
Well, she kind of does.
Yeah.
That is.
Oh,
the
God.
genetics are very strong in
man.
that family.
And
Yeah.
then, and then because I want all of us to comment. And Connor, what's the next one that we have? This is, and by the way, he deletes the post because he knows what he's doing. And he says, I posted earlier a picture of some shells I saw today on a beach walk, which I assumed were a political message. I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down. Guys, subsequently, he has a book that's coming out on the 20th. So I think all of this, first of all, he knows what he's doing. Okay, he's not stupid. Bro, Kash Patel made a comment. They sent Secret Service to go talk to him. Tulsi Gabbard says he should go to freaking jail. And then what do you have? Do you have the clip of Trump? This is Donald Trump, I think today talking about the situation. Go ahead.
He knew exactly what that meant. A child knows what that meant. If you're the FBI director and you don't know what that meant assassination. And it says it loud and clear. Now, he wasn't very competent, but he was competent enough to know what that meant. And he did it for a reason, and he was hit so hard. Because people like me, and they like what's happening with our country. Our country's become respected again, and all this. And he's calling for the assassination of the president.
Obviously, he apologized and said he doesn't.
Well, he
wasn't calling
apologized
for
because he was
violence. But
look, he's a very bad.
What do you want to see happen?
What
What do you want to see happen?
I don't want to take a position on it because that's going to be up to Pam and all of the great people. But I will say this, I think it's a terrible thing. And when you add his history to that, if he had a clean history, he doesn't. He's a dirty cop. He's a dirty cop. And if he had a clean history, I could understand if there was a leniency. But I'm going to let them make that decision.
Look, and here's my thing, and I want to go around. Like, in this class, first of all, James Comey knows exactly what he was doing, okay? That's beyond the dog whistle. The amount of crazy people that are out there, from the Thomas Crooks, which I think, this is my opinion, he was MK Ultra, 100%, like, without a shadow of a doubt. Him walking around, them leaving him alone, slope roof, FBI Director Kim Cheadle leaves. That was just a failed assassination attempt that the system tried to take his ass out. Then you have the Ryan Ralph, and you're putting shit in the sand that says 86 the President of the United States. Because here's the thing: even if your attitude is get him out of office, what has he done? What are you calling for in that? What did he do? Did he do something treason? Has he done something to get kicked out? That is a 100% dog whistle to people that go out there. Brandon, what do you think? Because I'm going to go around.
Yeah, no, this is what's annoying me about Trump is that he's like taking all these half measures with this. He's like, he's saying the politically correct thing, like, oh, we'll leave it up to Pam. It's not my place to do it. Like, no, like this is how people get whacked. And I don't think we trust Pam we never trusted Pam Bondi, and she's proven that because she isn't going after Epstein. Like, she had to get threatened by a reporter to even mention Epstein files. So, like, I mean, I personally think that Trump should have like eliminated a certain group of people when he first got into office, people that are part of the deep state, like, the Comey type people, like Clapper, like John Brennan, like the John Bolton types, like the people that have been part of the intelligence agencies like for the last 30 years that are still working actively to try to eliminate him. So I think, he has to be a little more assertive about this and not like take half measures with it.
Why did you not trust Pam Bondi from the get-go?
Because they were
Can I be honest with you? I felt like the narrative was the complete opposite. Specifically on the show, we talked about how hot she was for being, I think, a grandma.
16?
Yeah, she's like in her late or early 60s.
Not a grandma, no kids.
Then, okay, well, we
Brandon.
talked about her being attractive for being an older lady. We were excited about her. We were excited about Kash Patel.
Yeah.
But you were never on board
No,
with
because
Pam Bondi.
they were
Why?
so comfortable with her. The same reason I didn't like Marco Rubio is because like 99 senators voted yes for him. So like I liked Matt Gaetz because they were so opposed to him, and I think Matt Gaetz would have been a lot more aggressive than Pam Bondi would have been.
I think so too.
I think Marco Rubio, even though we didn't like him, and I defended him, not liking him, he's doing a tremendous job. He's doing an
okay job. He
No,
hasn't done
he's-
anything
He's
fantastic.
doing better than. Who was the last guy that was in that office? You know who he was.
Are we talking about Marco Rubio?
Yeah.
He's literally in Turkey right now trying to negotiate peace between
you
Ukraine
think-
and
Russia,
Russia.
yeah.
Trying
So
to.
you think that's an okay job?
He's trying to. He
The
hasn't
Biden
done it yet.
administration didn't,
What
it
wars
didn't
have
get close.
ended?
And I won't let
Yeah.
you speak
What wars have
ill.
ended?
I won't let you speak ill about Pam Bondi. She is not only beautiful, incredibly smart.
That's how she gets you.
Well, you need to let her do her job. Like, I think we've been closer to getting some justice in this country than ever before.
How many hours of child porn do they have to watch before they arrest people?
I mean, he does have a point.
You don't
They
know
have
how
tens
Brandon,
of thousands.
you don't know how it works. At least we
I
know
don't.
At least we know they're watching it and they're doing something about it, because the last previous 8 years nobody did anything about
They're
it.
watching. We don't know they're doing something about it.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, the issue with that thing is that they set the bar so high. We have a phrase we use around here: "Overpromise, underdeliver." And if they never would have came on the scene so hot, like
Yeah, don't say
15
it.
seconds into us starting, we're gonna make sure everybody's behind bars, and then none of us would have raised our expectations incredibly high
Well,
just to be
Kash
let down.
Patel, who I have tremendous respect for as an FBI director,
Sure.
he talked a little bit too much, maybe. Hopefully he delivers on his promises, because it was big talk. But I don't know. I'm a Pam Bondi ride or die.
That was big talk before he was actually appointed as FBI director. That was months before. Not saying that it justifies it, but I also have expressed the same frustration. But you're telling me right now that you think Anthony Blinken did a better job as Secretary of State than Marco Rubio? Then you got to give Marco Rubio some props for at least trying to end the war between Ukraine and Russia. Anthony Blinken was trying to encourage it to go on and actually being an active participant in it getting worse, whereas Marco Rubio is trying to at least end the war.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he's doing a bad job. I'm just saying it was a red flag. They got 99 votes from the Senate, but I think he's
Brandon,
doing like
I think
an
you're
okay job.
talking okay,
No,
after a minute,
no,
I think you're taking shit out of your ass. Name one
out
but
of your ass.
listen, name one Secretary of State in the last 10 administrations that's done a better job. Name one.
James Baker, Henry Kissinger.
Kissinger did a better job.
Yeah. Getting what he wanted out of the world.
Which
yeah.
was hundreds of thousands of innocent people getting murdered overseas.
Well, he actually saved a lot of countries from communism in South America.
At what cost?
A lot of lives.
Yeah, well,
You know what? Oh, sorry.
No, go. Sorry,
You,
you're saying.
you know who William Colby is? Former director of the
Yes.
CIA. He died in the canoe accident.
Yeah, canoe.
Yeah. And so he was telling the guy who wrote the book about the Franklin cover-up thing, where it's just like the last time there was an Epstein situation. This guy was the director of the CIA. He was telling the author of this book, who was a senator from Nebraska, he's like, hey, you're doing this research and these investigations. Like, you're going up against forces that you can't even comprehend with how powerful they are. Like, don't mess with this thing. And then the guy ended up saying, screw it, I'm 76, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Like, this guy who was the director of the CIA, and then, like, the canoe thing happened. So, like, the director of the CIA is warning you, like, you're going up against forces you can't even comprehend with this pedo stuff. So, you know, if the director of the CIA is saying that, then what the hell's going on?
Yeah, but and you have to realize too, though, Marco Rubio now is doing 2 jobs because Mike Waltz, the freaking Israeli mole, he's gone. So Rubio has to pick up his job and do that. And mind you, Rob, who's that? I think I was talking to Jake yesterday. Who the real person that was behind like Biden making the decisions? We're never gonna see the main person. But you know who was the most involved? Like, that's why it was hard for him to do his job. Who did you guys?
Blinken, Sullivan.
Blinken was the handler. That's why every time he spoke, I want to come to you, Rob. Every time, remember that time when Biden's on stage and he goes, "Oh, he's a dictator." Blinken went, "Oh," like it hurt every time he was. Every time he spoke, you always saw Blinken's little bitch ass in the right. He looked like he almost had a heart attack. Blinken was his handler, and we know whose loyalty Blinken is to. But Rob, what are you gonna say?
Well, I was watching an old video because I know we're going to get to Biden's cognitive decline, but I was watching old videos of Biden this week where he was speaking on Air Force One, and what a dramatic change between Joe Biden and Donald Trump on their Air Force One speeches alone.
Oh my God.
But while Biden is speaking to the press, you can see behind him peering out of like a curtain is Anthony Blinken going, let's make sure he doesn't say anything wrong.
Yeah.
And then Trump gets out and he's just like, I'm going to wing it and say whatever the fuck I want. It's crazy
totally
the difference
different.
between the two.
Yeah. You know, he has to act like aggressively though against these people because I mean I'm afraid for his safety with people like Comey, Brennan, I guess even Blinken and Clapper out there because they're plotting, playing against him. Like I have no doubt about that.
But Brennan, on a legal, I mean, none of us are lawyers. On a legal front, what can they do to him? Think about it, Rob. What he put 86, 47 in the sand. He's claiming he didn't do it. That's a dog whistle. Let's just say. Legally, because dude, I had to Google. I Googled what's happening right now with James Comey. The book is the first thing that popped up. So he's promoting his book. He's not stupid. He's a lawyer. Is there anything legal?
No, that's not illegal, but I'm confident in saying that I think he's done countless things that are close to being illegal, if not illegal in the past, and it would not be hard to find that and press charges against him on it because he was the director of the FBI. Just the Clinton stuff alone, people say that he broke the law.
Big time.
You know, with the emails.
Oh, of course.
You never came to me on this. I think this has been blown out of proportion. He's 6'8" and he's a mook, biggest mook out of them all. You see him walking around like a mook. He was briefly a communist in college. Do you know this? No. And I don't think the only thing I'm surprised he did 86, 47. He could have done 66, 47 because he's a fucking nerd. That Order 66 from Star Wars,
He could have got creative.
But this is like the thing is I hated it when the left did it. It's a dog whistle. It's a dog whistle. I didn't like it that everything. Remember when they said this was racist? The sign.
Yeah.
All right. I hated it.
But this is a different situation. The guy's been shot. Another assassination attempt happened. You know what you're like. Listen. When it comes to somebody's life,
And that's my next
not
point.
cool, bro.
I think-
It's not like that, Roberto. It's not like he's not enemy number one of them. And it's always notice this. It's supposed the narrative is the other side is Nazis and Hitlers and everything. It's always the other side that's burning down the country, shooting them in the freaking head, and
Throwing
calling for
Molotovs,
this, bro.
burning the flag.
You have to burn but you have to understand this. What he was trying to say is, I don't care about the promotion for the book. I know that's what he was doing, this is saying because he knows this is what was going to happen. Someone take out the president of the United States. Period.
And that's the problem because they're doing it in the most cowardly way. They're
He's a pussy, and
what
then
he's
take down
saying
the
is-
post.
What he's basically saying is some mentally deranged person read this and do my dirty work.
That's it.
So it's
You're
ridiculous.
100% right. And by the way, It's very, very difficult now because his FBI and his security is in place. But bro, he's gonna be out one day. By the way, you know why they shot him? Because he wasn't the president of the Secret Service. The detail that he had at Butler. Remember when he got shot, Rob? How many overweight girl Secret Service? That chick didn't even know how to hold a gun.
All
This
them.
guy wrote Beyonce lyrics in one of his speeches, all right?
Beyonce lyrics?
Yeah, he was like, "Who runs the world, girls?" All right.
Anybody
Biggest
Oh,
smoke.
God.
I think.
that.
Okay, you might be right. It's very weird that he says this. It's cowardly how he did it. Like, oh, I found these shells on the beach. Like, it's just insulting the intelligence of the American people.
Do you think he wants Trump actually to die?
But Comey,
can't-
but I didn't have the time to play all the clips. He hates Trump.
Yeah.
Bro, 90% of these people on the left okay, here's my question. How many people, including him, Hillary, all these people, Obama, all of them, Brennan, all of them, they found out, late breaking news, Trump shot in the head. You know how many of them would do this in their fucking house? Are you kidding me?
Well, I don't think they have the same care for human life like we have.
Yeah.
Like when you ask that question, do you really think he wants him dead? I do believe
Yes.
that he does, because I don't believe that they care about life like we do, because to them murder is just a tool for them. Whereas we look at it, we have compassion. I don't want to see anything bad happen to James Comey. You know what should happen is the book publisher should cancel the book. The book should not be released. You want to be the book publisher? It's Mysterious Press is the company that's putting out the book. Do you guys want to be the book company that publishes a book of the former FBI director who was dog whistling for the assassination of the current sitting president of the United States? Judith Regan oversaw the book. It was called O.J. Simpson's If I Did It. O.J. Simpson in 2006 wrote a book with Judith Regan. She was a publisher for HarperCollins. She had her own imprint in HarperCollins. The book was outrageous. It was all about O.J. writing if he were to kill Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron
What?
Goldman, how he
Yes.
would do it. They even filmed a TV special about it, but
Yes.
nobody ever released a TV. After that happened, I actually looked up. News Corporation, the parent company of HarperCollins, canceled both the book's publication and the associated television special. Reagan was then fired from her position at HarperCollins. Why is nothing going to happen? There should be some type of protest against the book company. The book company should not publish the book. They should eat it and go, great job, jerk off. Now we've got 200,000 copies of this book we can't put out.
I hope that's a great freaking point,
And
Rob.
the
I hope
TV special was never aired.
No,
because they'd have to show them killing.
There were clips that did get leaked at one point. You may be able to find them out there, but I don't believe that Fox ever aired the If I Did It O.J. Simpson special in its entirety.
Go on, Chris.
Yeah, I think Rob makes an awesome point that they do have such a careless look at human life, whereas we see it different. But I actually don't think that's just a one-sided thing. I think that's a politician thing in general.
But
you know what I mean?
actually felt bad for Biden the whole time. I
Did too. I said, shame
was
on him.
like,
Remember we were talking about him and his wife, Jill.
He needs to rest. He needs
You know
to
what
go
though?
home.
If I got the sense that Joe Biden was a good man before he started losing his mind, I would have felt bad.
But
for him.
I don't wish-
That's been a bad
I
guy
don't
since
wish-
the 70s.
I
when
don't
he
wish
was
death and
racist.
suffering on anyone.
When he was racist.
I might
You don't
disa-
lose that.
I might
No, but
disagree
he don't realize he's
politically,
racist
you
anymore.
know. But I don't want anyone dead.
Yeah, no, dude. Of course not. Of course not, because you're a freaking Christian. You have a freaking soul. You care. They don't give a damn. But notice, bro, it's the majority of the time. It's the other side. It's like, bro, can you imagine if somebody did that shit? Could you imagine Cash Patel does that?
Oh, it's over.
About Obama.
And to Chris's point about politicians not having care for human life, I don't believe that applies to the current sitting president of the United States. Because
Agreed.
when he was
That's
asked
fair.
on Air Force, and this isn't the, hey, we're all Trump nut hangers podcast, but when you look at Trump on Air Force One, he's asked about going to Turkey with Russia, with Putin and Zelensky to settle the Ukrainian war. Trump says if it would save human lives, then yes, I would drop everything. I'd cancel my appointments and go, but I don't believe Putin's going to show up. And Putin didn't show up. But that's where Trump is operating from. I believe that he actually does care about human lives, whether they're American lives, Ukrainian lives, Russian lives. He doesn't want to see anybody die.
I think you're right. I think Trump's the exception. I still, as much as he's a politician, he's not a politician to me. He's got that famous clip where he said years ago, people need to stop dying. They're dying. And you're 100% right. But I just don't see him. He's different. He's not he's one of us. He's like the most relatable billionaire.
I would put Ron Paul there. I would put a few guys in there. You know, even Bernie.
But we like him so much, we got to make sure he doesn't get whacked. And I mean, I think the longer he allows these people to be out, the more likely the odds are that he, God forbid, gets whacked. So he needs to take drastic measures, I think, against a select amount of people.
Well, listen, to your point, Tom Holman was on Sean Ryan, I believe, Robbie, yesterday or the day before. And you know what he was saying? What
Great
he's worried
interview.
about? How many terrorists how many Chinese nationals, how many people that we have no idea are here. And guys, mark my words, when, not if, when something happens, we're not going to be able to tie who and where, and it's going to be 10 years before we say, oh, this terrorist came in with a Chinese national that did this. Because, guys, he's kicking ass too much. We're winning as a freaking country. The last time this happened, a virus came out of a lab in China. Just mark my words, take this shit to the bank. We're winning way too much, and it's happening way too fast. Give it a year and watch what the hell's gonna happen. I'm not fear-mongering. I'm just saying, evil never takes a time out. Evil doesn't stop, and this piece of shit is one of those people, and I really hope he gets what's coming to him. Whatever. If there is a legal thing for it, I hope it happens. But, the Secret Service and all them are checking this guy. But you know what? The FBI is going to go to visit. You don't think he still has friends in the FBI?
Hey,
you don't think
boss,
that
how you
snake
doing?
deep state operative has friends in high places? You're crazy. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.